Share this bitch with your friends. So many new records in the store. I actually hit up Ice-T and Run the Jewels and LP on Twitter and Little Steven to try to get them to sell so that I can sell records through the store to you. Because the store is going amazing. The store is going amazing. They don't know that yet. You know why? I got only 1,000 Twitter followers. I'm a peasant. I am a music peasant. You guys will show them differently. Let's do this.
Special bulletin. America is now under martial law. All constitutional rights have been suspended. Stay in your home. Do not attempt to contact loved ones, insurance agents, or attorneys. Shut up. Do not attempt to think or depression may occur. Stay in your home. Curfew is at 7 p.m. sharp after work. Anyone caught outside the gates of their subdivision sectors after curfew will be shot. Remain calm. Do not panic. Your neighborhood watch officer will be by to collect urine samples in the morning. Anyone caught interfering with the collection of urine samples will be shot. Stay in your home. Remain calm. The number one enemy of progress is questions. National security is more important than individual will. All sports broadcasts will proceed as normal. No more than 2 people may gather anywhere without permission. Use only the drugs prescribed by your boss or supervisor. Shut up! Be happy. Obey all orders without question. The comfort you've demanded is now mandatory. Be happy. At last, everything is done for you.
There is definitely a delay. It's because I learned how to move my lips and make the sound come out after, just to piss you off, Nelson. Fucking Eeyore comes in right away. Ugh. It's pirate radio. What do I look like, a fucking audio engineer? All I know how to do is smoke pot and talk about music. That's it. And sell music. We had a good week last week. Lots of sales. Folks, I absolutely love selling records to you. Love it. My favorite part, can I tell you one of the big reasons that we sold so many records this week? And I know you guys, you're going to buy more because I'm going to play some more great stuff and it's in the store. It's because we here are marketing gurus at Vinyl Junkies. You know how it is that they give you all these cute little codes to use at these checkouts? Use code Flowers for Valentine and get 10% off your bouquets. We did that our way. Hey, you know what? Go shop vinyljunkies.store. When you get there, in the code section, say fuck Amazon. Fuck Amazon. Like that, you say it. Nice big letters. I'm going to give you 10% and make you feel all good inside. Because Jeff Bezos should eat a dick. Yeah. I'm feeling so good. Yeah, I know. The lips are moving different. Kung Fu movie, you guys. Get over it already. What's important is you're here and I'm entertaining you. We also know that it is entirely possible that the show will get taken down right after it's been streamed. And fear not, folks, because what I do then is I rip it and I put it on podcast and you guys catch it there. And I put it on Facebook and you catch it there. And it's on Periscope and Periscope never goes down. And all of that together makes it so we got an audience of, 50,000 views a month? It's good. It's good. We're very proud. We're very, very proud of this. You understand? Until the industry realizes, motherfuck. For the amount of people that listen to this dumbass, they buy a lot of records. Well, yeah, bitch. Every one of these fools buys records. What do you think they're here for? Because I'm entertaining? Hell no. Can I tell you one of my favorite punk records this year? It's so punk, it's upset everybody I know who heard me call it punk. Everybody had to make sure that they all respectfully need to tell me, Sam, this isn't punk. This is not punk. And they all do it respectfully because they know that. I tend to go off, don't I? Punk is an attitude, not a sound. Dolly Parton, punk. Oh yeah. Definitely. Hank Williams, punk. You know who else? Drive Truckers. Drive-by Truckers, who I've had albums from, but never really paid close attention. I had one album called Go-Go Boots, listened to it, liked it. It's not like I don't like the record. I like it, but didn't really know it too well, right? And then, I score these records, for quality type of thing, and they were all scoring nicely. This one scored nicely as well. I finally got around to the new Drive-By Truckers, not thinking a whole lot, and then it started playing, and I realized, whoa, I really dig this record. It is available. It came out at the end of January. It is available through our store, shopvinyljunkies.store. But, I don't think that you should listen to me. I think that you should listen with your own ears and tell me if you like it or not. If you like it, you know what? I love you guys so much. I'm going to give you 10% for saying fuck Amazon. I'm such a good guy. I am a very, very good guy. We lost a couple of patrons. We upset people with our terribly socialist ideas. Thoughts and prayers all around.
Phones ringing, you could smell gunpowder in the air, and on the bloody ground the LEDs were blinking, deliver us from evil thoughts and prayers. They're lined up on the playground, their hands all in the air. See it on our news feed and we cry out in despair. They're counting up the casualties, everyone's choosing sides. There's always someone to blame, never anywhere to hide. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. This white noise in my head, I think I need a filter, a pressure valve to keep from blowing up. And when the shit comes down, I pray I can rise above it. Hold me closer when I've had enough. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. Glory, hallelujah, you are in our thoughts and prayers. Glory, hallelujah, you are in our thoughts and prayers. at me and they ask me to explain. It hurts me that I have to look away. The powers that be are in for shame and comeuppance. Generation Lockdown has their day. They'll throw the bums all out, drain the swamp for real. Perp walk them down the Capitol steps, show them how it feels. Tramp the dirt down Jesus, you can pray the rod they'll spare. Stick it up your ass with your useless thoughts and prayers. Stick it up your ass with your useless thoughts and prayers. Glory, hallelujah, you are in our thoughts and prayers. Glory, hallelujah, you are in our thoughts and prayers. Glory, hallelujah, you are in our thoughts and prayers.
Stick it up your ass with your useless thoughts and prayers. Before you gotta wish people thoughts and prayers. Don't be a dick. How's that? So, it's Friday, isn't it? Oh my god, what songs will we play today to get us all in the mood, get us all jazzed up? Get our nipples exploding? What are we gonna do? Now, look, I got only 1,000. I have 1,059 followers on Twitter. Not a lot. And I won't even say that it's a new thing. I've actually been on Twitter for about 7 years. So basically what it tells you is that I am a complete loser. When it comes to Twitter, my Twitter game is very weak. Very weak. It is on life support. It is in a coma. The only reason my Twitter game is not completely dead is because I'm too stubborn to die. That's why. But I follow people there, so I'm entertained. I like people. I like musicians. I've been following Ice-T for the entire 7 years. Big deal, the guy now. Look at him. Guy's fucking gangster as fuck. He's awesome, right? Follow him. I follow LP. I follow Run the Jewels. I follow Neil Diamond. I follow Little Steven. I follow people. They entertain me. And, well, you guys know that I'm not the smartest guy in the world, right? So, when they talk, Ice-T put out this tweet about how the new Body Count album is coming out on vinyl. And the tweet said, thank God vinyl's still there. And my response, because I am too big for my britches. My britches are exactly 1,059 deep on Twitter. Absolutely nothing. A shit stain on the blue bird is what I am. But I retweet Ice-T with a little comment. We would love to carry your record, Ice. I'm pretty sure we can move the needle. Love to promote it. I'd love to play it on the show before it ever comes out on vinyl, because I bet that if I had a copy of the new Body Count and we did that together and we put it up in the store in our pre-order section, you notice we got a pre-order section? It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. It means you can get the record like that. Boom. Immediately. When it comes out, look at these split. We send it right to your mailbox. Carrier pigeons, the fastest around. That's us. So I know that this Body Count record, judging from what you guys have done, you buy records, you really like them. I know we'd be able to sell a bunch, but look, I'm a peasant. Like I said, look very closely. Okay, you have to realize that the blue bird of Twitter it's ultra high res. It's kind of like the Mars rover of the internet. It is very high res. So you have to really zoom in really, really, really closely. And once you zoom into that blue Twitter bird by about at least 14 or 15 million times normal, what you're going to notice is a big giant shit stain. It's kind of like Mars. You know how they found water on Mars? Nobody's ever stepped foot on Mars. But they know there's water. They know that there's water under the crust of the soil in Mars. Why? Magnification, baby. Magnification. So let's magnify that bird 14 or 15. I would even say maybe 20 million times more than the eye can see. You're going to notice a big giant shit stain. It's a big flaming shit stain. It's about the size of Australia, and it's burning. A big burning Australian size continental shit stain on the bird that is Twitter. Me and my 1,059 Twitter followers. How dare I? Final Junkies 666, by the way. Final Junkies 666 on Twitter. Go check it out, bitches. But I'm stupid. I really am. I don't know my place in this society. So what do? I answer back Ice-T. Ice-T, I want to sell your record. And then I do the same thing with LP of Run the Jewels, because RTJ4 is coming out this spring. Man, I'm pretty sure we can sell those. Would you buy those records? Eh? Of course you would. Of course you would. Of course. I know a man who knows how to do that. I know a man who's got a store with over 42,000 records in it. I can do them shits. And then you'll notice that the pre-orders, we refresh them every Wednesday. So if you visit the page every Wednesday, you can check out all the new pre-orders. You can check out all the new arrivals. You can check out all them shits. It's all there. So you'll know about when the Body Count and the Run the Jewels 4 record is coming out the minute it drops on pre-order, and you can get it right away. Very, very powerful. Now imagine. Now, like listen, I'm a peasant. Flaming shit stain. We've already assumed this. Imagine this flaming shit stain has the record 6 weeks ahead, because the records are always printed before they hit market, right? And I play this record on this show for you, dear friends. I play the thing for you. And then I give you a link and I tell you, hey man, you know what? We down with the Body Count crew. We down with the RTJ crew. We're selling these records. They're the ones who gave me the records to play for you ahead of time. Pre-order it right here. What do you think is going to happen to the pre-orders? Yeah, that's what's going to happen. You know why? Because the store's awesome. And number two, I'll go one step further. What I want to do is I want you to feel good inside. Inside, I want you to feel good. Not quite flaming like Australia, because climate change doesn't exist. But warm. Warm enough to warm the vinyl cockles of your motherfucking heart. What's going to happen? You guys are going to buy the records. It's going to happen like that. Me and my 1,059 followers at Vinyl Junkies 666 on Twitter. What the fuck do I know? What do I know? What am I doing here? I should pack it up. The store's doing just fine. We got 160,000 when you take Facebook and everything else into consideration, and I am too stupid to do anything else. I am a vinyl Forrest Gump. That's the only knowledge that I have. You remember Forrest Gump with the cards? He could remember the cards. He wasn't cheating. Threw him out of the fucking casino anyway. Wasn't cheating. He just knows numbers. Put him in a bathtub. Leave him alone. The fucking idiot doesn't know how to pull the tap. He sits in there until the water gets cold and he freezes. That's me. Trouble syncing my lips with the voice. Big troubles. Big troubles. 1,061 Twitter followers. How fucking nice. Vinyl Junkie 666, bitch. So now, what I'm gonna do is, We're gonna talk. We're gonna pretend, okay? Like, what I'll do is I'll try to let you into the voices in my head. The voices in my head, I close my eyes and I imagine myself that I'm here doing this pirate radio because it's real pirate radio. I imagine that I got Ice-T listening to me. Ice motherfucking T. Tracy Marrow. OG. And I got LP listening to me. And I got Killer Mike listening to me. And they figure, okay, let's give this fucktard a listen. Let's see what he's all about. And then eventually they say, you know what? I gotta say, the guy sounds like he fell on his head a bit, but he happens to know music. He's entertaining. He makes people laugh. He doesn't mind that people are laughing at him. If he was here in the same room, he'd probably have his mouth open, throw peanuts in there, you know? All sorts of fun with Sam Panacchio, all sorts of fun. But motherfucker, does he sure know how to play a mean pinball. And that's all that matters. And that's why, I know you guys. Hey, thanks, Tommy Alaska, for making me feel guilty for not following you. Say something interesting, I'll follow you. On Twitter. Vinyl Junkie 666. Fucking Tommy Alaska. My guilt trip here. You know what it looks like when you have only 1,059 Twitter followers and I'm following like 1,000 people? It'll make me look like even more of a loser than I really am. That shit stain will become the size of the entire European continent. Do you want that? Do you want me to appear like flaming shit as big as fucking China and India together? Do you, Tommy Alaska? I can't follow you. It's for my reputation. It's for my bones. It's for my bones, Tommy Alaska. But I know you guys, you're going to buy records because that's what we do here. So when I played you a bunch of Worm, all of you guys, where'd you get it? I have a surprise for you. I got some records for you in there that I found very special. Oh yeah, we're going to play him. And you're going to buy him, I know. And another reason I know that you're going to buy him, you know why? Because I have so much fucking agita inside me, so much anger, that I'm like, you know the guys that just swear all the time? They got like the little ticks and stuff. The Pectpelvis Pete. What the fuck is that disease called? That disease. Where you just, you swear, fart! Like that. You just yell. Try to tell me what that disease is. It's kind of like that. And every time I'm triggered, I'm just triggered. Every time I go visit vinyljunkies.store and I see the gorgeous online experience, I think to myself, fuck Amazon. And it's just like a little tick, fuck Amazon. So just do fuck Amazon. Big capital letters. The whole thing with the head? You can do that if you want. It makes it feel better. But type in fuck Amazon right in the code and I'll give you 10%, 10% off your entire order. Tourette's syndrome. Fuck Amazon is our Tourette's syndrome. Fuck Amazon, get 10%. Listen to some Tim Maya. We sold out a lot of records because of the way we do things. We blew out William Onyeabor. What did you guys blow out lately? I don't even remember now. Why? Let's not focus on my memory. That's not going to go well. This Tim Maya, it's a double. It's put out on Luwakabop. This man is worthy of the obsession that I have with him. Okay? So, we're going to listen to a song, A3, the last song on side A, called O Caminho do Bem. I don't know what it means, but our friend Nelson, he's Portuguese, so maybe he can tell us. Tim Maya. It's available in the shop. It's really good.
O caminho do bem. O caminho do bem. O caminho do bem. Já iniciou. Está acontecendo. Fase racional. Não estão sabendo. O caminho do bem, leia logo. Saiba logo. O caminho do bem está na hora. É agora. O caminho do bem. Acredite, não duvide. o caminho do bem. Leia logo, saiba logo, o caminho do bem está na hora. É agora o caminho do bem. Acredite, não duvide, o caminho do bem. Vida modesta e fecunda, amor de um doce paraíso, reino prepotencial racional, aonde brilha sempre o bem e não o mal. Leia logo, saiba logo, está na hora, é agora. Acredite, não duvide, o que já aconteceu, já aconteceu. Está acontecendo. Fase racional. Muitos estão sabendo. O caminho do bem. Leia logo, saiba logo. O caminho do bem está na hora. É agora o caminho do bem. Acredite, não duvide. O caminho do bem. Numa natureza onde não existe regulagem, não pode existir o bem. O bem só pode ser encontrado na imunização racional. O caminho do bem. O caminho do bem. O caminho do bem. O caminho do bem. Pode aguardar que o mundo inteiro não saberá. Mas o primeiro, o caminho do bem. O caminho do bem.
See? I mean, I'm not wrong, right? So, I mean, look. We all know that no one's listening here. Nobody. Okay, so. But we can play pretend, can't we? We can play pretend. We can play pretend. Let's pretend that there's this big bearded guy up in the sky who wears white robes, and there's a gate up there. Let's pretend. We can pretend, trust me. Our life is all about pretending. So let's pretend that Ice-T, right now, an LP, and Killer Mike of Run the Jewels are all together. They're all sitting on a couch. They're blazing. Well, not Ice-T. Ice-T doesn't blaze, man. Ice-T's a clean boy. Clean, clean, clean. Hustler. Fucking hustler. Amazing. They're gonna think, what's this boy talking about? And then, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna look at the comment, and they're gonna see Nelson Britu over there, 83. Fuck, I gotta buy this record now. You see? Done. Done. Well, of course. Because the music is amazing, and you guys have good taste. Now, listen. Let's not be too nice with Nelson. He's also Eeyore, so that means at the same time he also says, oh, well, you know, everything I look for in the store is always sold out. I have answers for you, fucking dopey. I got answers for you. Number one, our little friend in the back, the guy who takes care of all the back stuff, Brian Johnson, him? Yeah. He's made it so that the sold out stuff will no longer offend your eyes. Nelson. Plus, I forgot plus. I can play some Frank Zappa, Gino Treyball. I need something. I'm going to talk about Worm. Because we talked about... Oh, yeah, he was talking about... That's what it was. Nelson was talking about the fact that everything's sold out. That's because, you see, that's a good thing when you think about it. It's because the store, vinyljunkies.store, is so good that it attracts the deep diggers. The diggers that go in and they look for everything. So Nelson... Listen, you gotta understand, the guy works very slowly. His brain doesn't process. His brain doesn't process like the internet processes. So what does he do? He looks for records that you're never gonna find anywhere. Oh, well, I'm looking for those fucking religious psychedelic records that Tim Maya put out, that, like, the master tapes are destroyed, there's none that exist. I'm looking for those there. I'm looking for low-level white albums with the numbers. This fucking guy. Yeah, I'm looking for the Robert Ludwig hot mix of Led Zeppelin 1. Fuckface. Ugh. So, it's a good thing. They go there and they put things that they obviously can't find, but... Listen, Nelson, I encourage you. Go search for a unicorn at vinyljunkies.store. If you can find one, I'll give you 20% off. Okay? Search to your heart's content. Sold out. Thanks. What happened was, a couple of weeks ago, we have a corporate sponsor, Org Music. I played a lot of Org Music, and their catalog's good, so I'm chuffed to be able to talk to you about it. I'm chuffed to be able to, you know, show you what they got. You guys bought so much Org Music last week that Andrew, boom, 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 corporate sponsor up the yin-yang. Now, I've been working a while to get Worm, because this Worm record, Exhumed, is basically the complete recordings of Chuck Dukowski's band before Black Flag, SST, before all of that. All of this stuff used to be available only on 7 inches, and some of this stuff was never available before. Like, there's the 77 Würmhole demos. The Würmhole was this shitty little joint that they all lived in and recorded in and basically squatted in. Okay, as I learned more about LA Cali punk, I noticed it's just lots of squats, man. You shit where you eat, where you play music. All happens in the same place. So the Würmhole was basically kind of the beginnings of Black Flag, proto, if you want to call it that. And, you know, I gotta tell you, man, some of this stuff sounds pretty kraut-rocky. Not rocky, kraut. Krautrock, yeah. It's pretty jamming. Now, I've played this before, and I've told you that this Worm record was an RSD-only release, and it is. And I also told you that it was hopelessly sold out. It isn't. I found a secret little honey stash for you. Now, I gotta tell you, they're gonna sell fast because I just sent out a couple of PMs. Everybody I sent a PM to, boom, you all took it. Of course you did, because when are you gonna see it again? So I'm gonna play some Worm. because I would like to proudly say that we now have it in the shop and you want to get a copy of this. You want your hands on this. If you like punk, if you like proto-punk, you like tracking the history of the Cali punk scene, oh man, this is where it's at. So I'm happy we have a few copies. I don't know how many. I expect them to sell out. But I love you so much that I will give you 10% off your entire order if you say fuck Amazon. How's that? Before that, I'm going to tease you with something that I haven't been talking about for the last 10 minutes because I'm a pro. I'm an absolutely fucking pro at what I do. You see, I talk up a record and it's like everybody gets all excited. I know, you guys, you're nips. You know those little bumps that happen right around the nips? Not the nip itself, that's the big bump. But there's, like, some of us have, not smooth nips, some of us have kind of like the little, it's kind of like chicken skin. It's like goosebumps. You got goosebumps on your nips. I get you all excited for Worm with the goosebumps, and then I rip it out from under you by playing you something that isn't available in the store and that you want it. What happens when you take a bunch of hippies and you decide, you know what, we're going to let them into the church and we're going to let them, we're going to open this house of Jesus to everybody. And they're going to make some of the music. Oh boy, the music gets good. It does. It really does. Of course you snagged one, Robert. We're going to play it right after that. What we're going to listen to, friends, is the sound of the San Francisco Christian Center. The message. I will read you the message from their pastor, because we are all very religious people here. We pray to Jesus. San Francisco Christian Center, founded in 1954, is a non-denominational, evangelical, spirit-filled church for people of all races. A place that radiates the love of God and meets people's needs where they are. Our motto is, your need is our concern. This album is an extension of the ministry of San Francisco Christian Center. It emanates peace, radiates joy, reveals to the listener God's redemption plan through the media of gospel sounds. Now, they wanted to reach the young kids. This is what happens when young hippie kids get touched by Jesus. Get touched by the fingers of Jesus himself. Probed by Jesus.
It's about him. It's about him. It's about him. It's about my Savior. It's about him. It's about him. It's about my Savior. It's about him. It's about him. It's about him. It's about my Savior. It's about him. It's about him. It's about him. It's about my
I'm straight up cool with whatever you believe as long as you don't hurt anybody. All I can tell you is if it can make you make music like that, I'm all about your gods too, man. My God is art. That's some art. They love them. They love their Jesus. That's good. That's good. Some of this stuff sounds like game show music. It's like you can almost see Chuck Barris come out in his like polyester suit with the big ass lapels, kind of thing. It's I'm pretty sure I'm gonna play some other tracks off of it. What is it called? San Francisco Christian Choir. Really quite good. The sound of San Francisco Christian Center. I'm gonna play some Worm now. Proto-punk, sure. They started basically in the late 70s. 1977 is their earliest recordings. These here are their complete recordings until this new announcement. But we'll talk about the RSD release. There's a 7-inch of new Worm material being put out for Record Store Day, and we will be getting a copy. So I'll play that for you. You're going to get to hear it here as well. Okay, but this here is a compilation of all their previous recordings, which was once only available only basically on EPs and that kind of thing. So hard to track down and expensive, spendy, man. This old punk stuff is expensive. Here, Org took the entire thing. They worked directly with Chuck Dukowski and gave him his fair share. And here we are. What we have is a 2 LP set of all of their collected works, including on side 4. Really noisy, and I'm going to play you some, but I'm going to play you the 77 Würmhole demos, which is the first time you'll ever hear this stuff. I mean, it wasn't recorded before this. It's available on this. I'm going to play it just to kind of give you an idea of really, let's go as far back as we can before Black Flag came to be. Because Chuck Dukowski, pre-Black Flag, this is what it is, right? It's available. I was happy to find a stash of these. These are RSD, Record Store Day leftovers. So it's not like you're going to find them anywhere, man. You're not going to find them in your store. And if you like punk, I would suggest that you jump on it. Number one, and you know what? I'm going to be punk right back. I'm going to invite you to say, fuck Amazon. Fuck Amazon. Nice capital letters. Fuck Amazon. You put that in checkout, just like Nelson did. And you're going to save money off your entire order, 10% off your entire order. It feels good to save money, right? You know what feels better? Fuck Amazon, saying that when you buy your records. Go save yourself some money. We do this shit right. Worm is there. W-U-R-M. Yes. Yes, it's there. 2 LP. Plus, it's from Org Music, so we're actually supporting our sponsors as well, our patrons. That's a beautiful thing, right? Why don't I play you the first track off the I'm Dead EP. It's here. How punk does this sound?
Say, how money going through your head, and the key to this world is a lock on your heart. Now I'm
stone and times need to hide away. But off in the distance, I hear the march of dawn. On the scene and defeating the mind melt. Brainwashed people are afraid of themselves. Look around now and thinking is out. Time is a passion to escape from experience. Burn out, burn, I'm on my way out and I don't care. I'm dead. Burn out, burn, I'm on my way out and I don't care. I'm dead. I'm dead. Day or night. So I know mine. Yeah, frustration got me up against the wall and peace only come when I'm zoned. I need some way to free my energies. Come with me, baby. Close my eyes. Yeah, cigarettes lit and ground in the dust as visions of emptiness run through my head. Just hours of crowds staring at walls. No one can sell me the time that I lose. I'm alone here in this river of ice. Give me emotion, I need reaction. Zombies stare back and feel the danger zone. I wonder when I'm brought to the eyes of the flesh. Frozen eyes then neutralize my. Show me the way to where I can rest. I'm alive, but I feel like a ghost. My prison is freedom and there's no way out. But I'm on my way out. I don't care. I'm dead. But I'm on my way out. You can't kill me. I'm dead. I'm dead. Day and night. So I know mine.
Beast mode is what I call it. Freaking awesome. You know what? Nelson actually said when you pulled this out, I was like, no, I don't want to listen to this now. Yeah, I completely get that. Because you want the first needle drop to be it. But the thing is that this kind of doesn't count. Like, it's not cheating because I'm playing it. It's not like you know, right? It's not like when you get a link. And I understand that. Like, for you guys, maybe you're like that as well. You buy a record, and let's say if it's an artist that you really like. Okay, let's say we're talking about RTJ, for example. RTJ would be the perfect example, right? RTJ4 is supposed to be coming out before Coachella sometime in the spring. Even if they released a single next week, I won't listen to it. Because I want to control where I hear it, and I want to control the circumstances. I don't want it to be a cheap experience. So generally, what it is that I always said was, no, I'm going to wait for the needle drop because I want that needle drop to remember something. I want to be in a space and time so that when I listen to it for the first time, I can say, fuck, that's amazing. I get that 100%. But you see, radio here and what we're doing is absolutely the way around that. That's exactly the point. Radio, think about all the times you've listened to, I don't know, maybe you have to be a 70s or 80s child or anything. You hear something that's like, boom, man, it blows you the fuck away the first time you hear it. And it's like, God damn, I gotta go get that. To me, that's what we're trying to capture here with radio. And to me, I love the fact that we got the store that's right there. You can pick it up because it's the best, most pure way to really discover music by connecting it to a moment in time that you spent with other people, which is what we're doing right now. So I haven't fucked up your experience, Nelson. I've enhanced your experience. You fucking Eeyore cocksucker. You never have anything good to say. Never. I'm going to play another worm. I'm going to play another worm. Go get yourself a cream soda, Nelson. This fucking guy. Hey, I know. Let's just stop. We're going to play a show just for Nelson. After this, we're going to play another one, too. Go get yourself a cream soda. Get in the truck. Padded cell. Brooke, I am absolutely with you on our need, rather urgent need, to sell sweatbands in the store. We need Vinyl Junkies sweatbands. I mean, I'm rocking the look. You guys got to admit. What it is that I want to do is my goal. I haven't reached peak sweatband yet. My goal was always to do one of two things. Have a sweatband that was red, white, and blue, like those 70s sweatbands. I can't find them shits anywhere. I want a red, white, and blue sweatband so that I look straight out of the 70s. I've been looking very, very much for those. Can't find. The other one then is to have a headband that's more for like wedding Like more like special occasions. So you wear the you wear the headband only during special occasions. And I want it to be one of those big old fucking Sun Ra New Orleans type of headbands. Kind of, you can imagine me fucking marching around in a second line. I want one of those headbands too. The type of headband that would look good with a pimp stick. Like that. Fucking gators. Fake gators. Fake gators only. I don't want the fucking vegans after me. They are a nasty bunch. Considering that they only eat straw, they don't need their incisors anymore. Eating chicory all day long, you don't need very tough teeth. Somehow they will chew you a new asshole with those mighty molars. It's from eating all that alfalfa. These fucking guys. So we're going to listen to Worm. The very earliest recordings of Worm. 1977 demos. This is the 77 Würmhole demos. Not available until this point here. I'm going to read you the liner notes at the bottom so you kind of get an idea of what's going on. All right? My name is Chuck Dukowski, and I'm a bass player. In the late 1970s, my friends and I started a band called Black Flag, but Black Flag would never have happened if I hadn't started Worm. In the summer of 1976, Worm's guitarist Ed Danke and I lived and played music in a series of decrepit and bizarre spaces. A vacant movie theater, a rooftop cafeteria, and finally a bathhouse on the Hermosa Beach boardwalk we called the Würmhole, which is where I met all the other founding members of Black Flag. This compilation contains previously unreleased practice tapes from 1977 that were recorded at the Würmhole. It also includes the I'm Dead EP from 1982, which was recorded just after I had finished recording Black Flag's Damaged. 1983's compilation tracks Modern Man, Black Swan, and the Complete Feast album session have been remastered and exhumed. I'm privileged to include photos by Spot, who in addition to being an incredible photographer, was the musical producer of some of Black Flag's most iconic recordings. Legendary photographer Glenn Friedman contributed photos of Worm's 1983 performance at the Smokin' concert at the Federal Building in Los Angeles, California. Naomi Peterson, who was a very talented staff photographer at SST Records, captured all the important bands of the era, contributed photos as well. So basically what I'm telling you is that you're getting punk history here. And it's really well done. I mean, it's well pressed. The records are pressed at Palace, which is usually, where they get all the audiophile stuff done. I mean, I know org music. Let's put it this way. It's just, you're going to get a very, very, very good compilation if you like the music on it. That said, well, listen, I mean, if it's going to talk to punks, you guys know that it's going to get raunchy, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you the very early stuff that Dukowski described in the liner notes from the 1977 rehearsal tapes. Check this out, man.
Fuck
Yeah. Sounds amazing, right? You can see how all that... Oh. I'm going to tease you with just the beginning of that. Just so that it can tickle your tits a little bit. It'll tickle your areoles. Right into buying the record. You see, all of a sudden, I'm trying to train you guys like Pavlov's dogs. As soon as your areoles start tingling, you start thinking to yourself, fuck Amazon. And you come and see Papa Sam, your vinyl slinger. I am the vinyl outlaw. You don't know that yet? Vinyl outlaw. Yes. Guerrilla tactics are fun. But I ain't putting this shit on. Why do you think I don't get along with society? Because I say what's on my mind? That's why. Sure, it's a show. I put it on a little bit. But for the most part, you're not supposed to call bullshit. It's very important to keep the status quo. One thing I always hoped that Ice-T would do is go up against the current president the way he went up against George Bush. What did he say about George Bush? George Bush and his crippled bitch. He was talking about Barbara, his wife. He called her his crippled bitch. It was beautiful. This is legendary shit. Punk rock has to speak up, man. It has to speak up when it's time. And when I said drive-by truckers being punk, that's what I meant. Because someone's got to do it. I'm going to play you something that I try to play as often as possible. Somebody posted up a copy of Frank Zappa, One Size Fits All, and one of the comments that I get often, is people saying it's my favorite Frank Zappa album. I get it. Like, for those people who don't know Frank Zappa super, super, super deep type of thing, they're going to say Apostrophe, Overnight Sensation. Those are the two big ones. They're going to say Hot Rats, for example. Okay. Then there's the other level, and those are the ones that might call out something like Zoodalures, or this one right here. I like Lumpy Gravy the best. But the fact is I love all Frank Zappa. I watched... his New York sessions, the sessions that were recorded, not New York, sorry, Live at the Roxy. The sessions that were recorded for Live at the Roxy. Yeah, I watched that movie this week because, well, I watch a lot of music documentaries and was summarily blown away by just how fucking prodigious George Duke is. That man was just a fucking cyclone, man. Keyboards everywhere. It's just, they blew me away. And Ruth Underwood playing the xylophone. Good. Way too good. Way. So, let's listen to some Frank Zappa. Okay?
Dead of the vehicle from somewhere around the dead of the vehicle from. From somewhere around the Indians first on the bell, carve up the hill.
such a good record. I love Zappa. Had a few. Did I have a few the first time I collected vinyl? No, probably not. I started collecting vinyl only on CD during, I started collecting it real heavily during the time that Zappa was all into his vaults and trying to remaster stuff and trying to make it quote unquote better, and kind of made it worse in a lot of cases. And he would die soon after. You remember those get a bunch of CDs and pay only 1 penny things? Now, I used to buy those things as often as possible. There was one club, not the Columbia House one. What the hell was the other one called? Anyway, I'm not going to get caught up trying to remember the name, but the deal was just too good to be true. Like, even if you bought the records, and I always honored my contracts. I had friends who didn't. They'd get the free records and not honor their contract, and then all of a sudden, like, 7 or 8 years later, they're trying to get a car loan, and it's like, well, no, because you just fucked Columbia House, so it's a strike on your credit. I mean, if you fucked them over, what makes the car company think that you're not going to fuck them over? So they wind up screwing themselves. Yeah, true story. BMG, I think, was the other club. I paid for the whole thing, man, because, well, I like music, and when it came down to it, it wound up being $7 a CD or something like that. So I was in, man. But what it is that got me in was the fact that they had a ton of box sets, and they had all of the Frank Zappa remasters. So I bought everything. And, well, I liked it so much I continued doing it when it came time to switch to vinyl again. And now I got all of them. The reissues, I have a few of those reissues. They're nice. I mean, they did a good job with them. I like them quite a bit. But the old records sound good too. Can I tell you another record that's brand spanking new in the store? Available as of today. I played it last week. Last week it was a pre-order. Today it's a new arrival. Party Down, Little Beaver. Absolutely necessary funk. 1974, if you like stuff like Shuggy Otis and just basically that whole laid out funky vibe. It's a record I would suggest extremely highly. It was originally released on Cat Records, but Real Gone Music just put it out right now. If you want it and you like what you hear, I would suggest to move, because Real Gone Music stuff goes away quickly. The reason for that is that they go with really short runs, and they pay the licensing fees, and the licensing fees on a lot of these are really big. So they don't want to get caught with too much material. So what they do is they always kind of like work with the idea of playing short runs with the idea that they're going to blow them out right away. So when you see Real Gone, if you see something you like, pick it up, man. It always gets blown up immediately. This one came out today. Yes, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, I've played it a bunch of times on the show. It's not for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Not for nothing. Not for nothing. So you can't go out and say, you know what, Sam? You're selling out. You got the store now. You're just... Nah. I had this record before I knew who you were, bitch. I like it. That's why I'm playing it for you. Give me the benefit of the doubt. Fuck Amazon. Save 10% on it too. Don't tell me I'm a bad guy. I'm a good guy. Save 10%. At vinyljunkies.store, say fuck Amazon if you like what you're listening to. Fuck the system.
Let the good time roll, everybody. Let it roll before you get too old. Let the good time roll, everybody. Let it roll before you get too old.
That's why I play it for you. I play it for you because I know that I'm going to get a comment like, oh boy, this is good shit. I know this. What? McCoy Tyner died. Dang. Ouch. Okay. We got to play some McCoy Tyner, man. We got to play some McCoy Tyner. Oh, what a fucking bummer. Or you know what, man? I'm going to save McCoy Tyner for Sunday. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. There's more of a vibe there for the Sunday vibe. I expect the Sunday show to be real good, man. A whole lot of stuff will feed right into it. A book came in this week. I bought the Lee Hazelwood biography, Me, Myself, and Lee. Really, I'm about nearly 100 pages into it, I guess. It's amazing. It's so good. And I'm pretty sure that I'll have stories. I actually went out and picked out the 2 last albums I was missing from the Lee catalog from the store. So I'm expecting a copy of Cowboy in Sweden to come in on vinyl, and the one he did with Anne Margaret, The Cowboy and the Lady. And I'm going to have Lee stories. Looking very forward to that. I guess we're going to definitely go into McCoy Tyner on Sunday as well. Rest in peace. And, well, you know, Nelson, he's right, you know, when he talked about... I just find that we have such interesting topics when we do this show together, and the topic of blind buys comes in. And we all kind of have our formula. The formula tends to be that I'll try to buy blind if A, the cover looks really cool, B, I know something about the label, I might know something about a collaboration, a producer, whatever the case is, C, the price is right, and the less you know about something, then the less of a risk that you want to take on it, depending on the person. I take risks all the time with my records. I do it with new records as well. Sometimes they turn out okay, sometimes not so much. But for the most part, I find that it really does turn out okay. So what I want to do, just to kind of like shed a spotlight on Nelson's brilliant ideas in this show, is to share with you my last blind buy. Because it completely changed the trajectory of everything. Oh my God, what you're going to listen to now. Saturday.
कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री शॉट्स भी दे दो इसको गाड़ी चाहिए लंबी उसमें म्यूजिक चाहिए लाउड ये जाती महंगे क्लब में जहां होता ढंका क्राउड लुधियाने से आई लड़की यूनिवर्सिटी पढ़ती है कहती तो है स्टूडेंट है बट आई डाउट मुंडे आंदे बल्ले नी तू छड्डे आनी कक जदों संडे मंडे करे तेरा छुट्टे खांदा लक आती होंडा में ऑडी में जाती तू खिसक सक baby what the
24 घंटे फीवर तेनू चढ़िया क्लब दा रोज राती सोनी सोनी कुड़ियां लभदा 24 घंटे फीवर तेनू चढ़िया क्लब दा रोज रात सोनी सोनी कुड़ियां नू लभदा रखा दिया पैर तेरे मोगे वाली ये सवेरे शामी मेरे उत्ते कुंडी अड़दी रहंदी ऐ कुड़ी Saturday Saturday 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 अड़दी रहंदी ऐ Saturday 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 Saturday
ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਬੀਬੀ ਪਿੰਨ ਵੰਡਦੀ ਹੀ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਬੀਬੀ ਪਿੰਨ ਵੰਡਦੀ ਹੀ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਪਾਵੇ ਪੋਰਾ ਫਿਕਰ ਨਾ ਠੰਡ ਦੀ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੇਬੇ ਬੇਬੇ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਆ ਕੇ ਬੇਬੀ ਬੇਬੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਏ ਕੁੜੀ Saturday Saturday ਕਰਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਏ ਕੁੜੀ Saturday Saturday ਕਰਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਏ Saturday, Saturday. Ooh, Saturday, Saturday. Ooh, Saturday, Saturday.
Right? Right? Yeah, I know. You guys are thinking, damn. Sammy? You play all the hits. You got all the good shit in your collection, don't you, Sammy? Yes, I do. I take chances on this shit. And I pick up a record like this, Horn OK, Please. And I realized, you know what, if this was strictly Euro trash, I wouldn't like it. But there's something about Bollywood. Bollywood just makes everything more acceptable. It just adds a certain layer of ridiculousness that makes everything okay. So, I like it. I think I do. Now, this is a record I'm not sure about, but I thought would be a much safer bet. I picked up a copy of this record. I mean, you're not going to see any name on it, but this is a collaboration between Jean-Claude Vanier and Mike Patton. Mike Patton, Faith No More, Mr. Bungle, that guy, Fantomas, whatever you want to, however you pronounce it. Him collaborating with Jean-Claude Vanier, which is the guy responsible for the production and the sound of Serge Gainsbourg's masterpiece, Histoire de Melody Nelson. He's really quite fantastic. I'm a huge, huge fan of his. So I thought, I gotta get it. The first time around, I would say, underwhelmed, but that's not fair. You don't listen to a record only once. So I wanted to play you the first song just to kind of give you an idea of what the needle drop sounded like to me. This one's available in the store as well. So for you Mike Patton fans, if you really want to see an interesting project, I mean, if you like it, it's right there, right? It's a project he did with Jean-Claude Vanier, and it's called Corpse Flower. This is the opening track, or track 2. There's not much in terms of liner notes over here. I mean, they really went, I think, more with beautiful art presentation than anything else. I mean, it's metallic, so I guess if I put it under the right light, I can maybe read the liner notes a bit, but it's this whole fucking thing. I want to be able to read, goddammit. Listen to the project, you tell me what you think. Do you hear any of that Gainsbourg happening? How did Mike Patton do when it comes to interpreting the melodies of Jean-Claude Vanier? Babis! How are you, Babis? We got our friend from Greece here with us. We're going to play some French music there, Babis. Listen up. Corpse Flower. Available in the store. VinylJunkies.store. Say fuck Amazon to get 10% off.
Each man kills the things he loves, but each let this be heard. Some do with a bitter look, some with a flattering word. The coward does it with a kiss, the brave man with a sword. Some when they are old. Some strangle with the hands of lust. Some with the hands of gold. The kindest use a knife, because the dead so soon grow cold. Some love too little, some too long. Some sell and others buy. Some do a deed with money tears, some without a sigh. For each man kills the thing that he loves. Each man kills the thing he loves. By each let this be heard. Some do with a bitter look, some with a flattering word. The coward does it with a kiss, the brave man with a sword. Some kill their loved when they are young, some when they are old. Some strangle with the hands of lust, some with the hands of gold. The kindest use a knife, because the dead soon grow cold. Some love too little, some too long. Some sell and others buy. Some do a deed with money tears, some without a sigh. For each man kills the thing that he loves.
Yep. See, I thought, I don't know, maybe it was just because I had an expectation, but I didn't expect it to sound so Mike Patton. I expected it to sound much more Jean-Claude Vanier. To me, that was the selling point, and I wanted kind of Mike Patton to complement that. And I don't know. I got to give it at least a few more listens, and it's really very much the kind of record that you got to listen to all the way through in order to get a feeling. You know, it's not the type of thing that you just listen to a single. Can I tell you another record that I picked up? Blind By. Blind By, new. And we have it in the store. So I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to tell you a story about it first, but this right here. This is the soundtrack to the original 1957 or so sci-fi film Forbidden Planet, featuring the original Robbie the Robot. This record is basically the sounds of science fiction. When you think of a science fiction movie, all the sounds began here. This is the very, very, very first purely electronic soundtrack ever made. Okay, and this is before the Moogs, before the organs, before the electric pianos, before all of that stuff. This is just a husband and wife team. What's the first guy's name? BB Barron and another Barron. I forgot the first Barron, but BB Barron is the lady. And why don't I just look at the cover? Lewis and BB get Barron. That's exactly right. And they basically just created their own homemade circuits type of thing to get a sound, and then they would manipulate the sound. So this entire thing must have taken forever to do. And it's really, for me, I mean, if I had to say science fiction 101, this is science fiction 101. This record right here. And the tracks are really short, so maybe we'll play a few in a row. But it'll get pretty weird. Anyway, it'll get real cool in my opinion. It's available in the store. Forbidden Planet. We're gonna let it go for a while, alright? Yeah, you know, you guys are probably thinking to yourself, Sam, where do you get all this dope shit? I mean, where do you figure this stuff out? Where do you find out about it? Well, the way it is that it works, you know what the formula is? Reach almost the age of 50 and spend your entire life searching for art all the time because you can't get enough of it. you wind up putting together a collection that has a whole bunch of sounds, and it is my fucking pleasure, my privilege to be that guy to introduce some stuff to you for the first time and blow your mind with a sound like it's like, whoa. I could totally imagine myself fading out on a comfortable fucking armchair listening to the soundtrack to Forbidden Planet. Then you wouldn't be wrong, man. And I can tell you something else from having this record a long time. It's not going to get tired. It's not going to be like one of those one-trick ponies. No, man, I actually play it a lot. It's a good record. It just is. Can I show you another record, which I don't know if we have it in the shop, because I didn't check, but it kind of goes along the same vibe a little bit, but another blind buy for me was the soundtrack to 1962's Seattle's World Fair. Okay, this is basically Attilio Mineo conducts Man in Space with Sounds. Subliminal Sounds Records. This is not an original. And what it is that the soundtrack to Seattle's World Fair in 1962, the entire idea of that was to construct what they saw at that point as the future and what the future looked like. So they had a monorail, which was a big deal back then, and they debuted the use of the monorail, and everything was very spherical in structure. And I mean, that tends to happen. I know the expos tend to happen that way as well. Here in 1967, for example, we have like a big geodesic dome that was created for Our World Expo in 67, and the Greek composer Yannis Xenakis actually wrote the theme music for Our World Fair. So challenging, at least from the World's Fairs that I know, seems to be part of it. In this particular case, they were really trying to give you an idea of what the future sounds like and what the future will look like. So what you're getting is the sound of the future according to 1962 America. And the sounds will blow your mind. Again, I don't know if the store has it, but if it does, yeah. It's a good one. Yes, Nelson is the reason that they built the Space Needle. That also happened in Seattle. Pretty trippy, right? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I really dig and seek out. So sometimes, I'll just pick up a record without hearing anything. I'll read it. It seems interesting, and it's like, okay, I got to hear what this is. I can play a whole lot of this weird stuff. And I mean, at this point in the show, we're going to be playing stuff that simply you're not going to find in the store, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to play it. Babis asks if I know the bands Aphrodite's Child and Socrates or Socrates. Yes, absolutely. I don't have either. I wish I had both. I've been looking for Aphrodite's Child for a while, so it's not like I'm not looking. When I see it, I'll pick it up. Let's put it that way. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you some more of this weirdo electronic music. In this case, it's weirdo electronic music that won a Grammy Award. No, actually, well, it's written by somebody who won a Grammy Award. But it's the soundtrack to Clockwork Orange. So this is kind of, I would say, a little tricky if you're shopping for soundtracks, because a whole lot of people mix up Clockwork Orange with stuff that's not really the soundtrack. This is the soundtrack. This is the actual soundtrack, the original compositions that were written by Wendy, then Walter Carlos. Okay, there is other stuff that includes some of the songs and includes excerpts. Not the same thing. If you want just the original soundtrack that was composed and performed by Wendy, then Walter Carlos, this is the one that you're looking for. It's simply amazing, and what we're going to listen to is Time Steps, which is a 13-minute song. Or should I just flip it over and play? You know what? That's what I'm going to do, man. Just to kind of keep a mood that you guys will know. What I'll do is I'll play the first song, which is a Clockwork Orange theme on side 2. And, well, it should remind you of the movie. For those of you who have seen that, Michael Jackson does have the E.T. movie. As a matter of fact, if I was able to move my camera, Gamey, Brooke, what it is that you would see right there where I'm pointing is a picture of Michael Jackson posing with E.T., because that E.T. box set came with a big fold-out poster of Michael Jackson with E.T. I had it only on cassette, so I have only the poster, and I put it right up on my ceiling, but I am actively looking for the LP. Good shit, man. It's good. Well, listen, it all depends, right? I like it. Here's track 1, the theme to Clockwork Orange. More weirdness.
Yeah, I'm coming. Ooh, this is good. Tell me you're not thinking about little Alex right now. Of course you are. Big ceramic penis. Transcriptor turntable. You know that beautiful turntable that they have in the movie? I don't know how many times you've watched the movie. I guess it all depends, but I've watched it dozens of times. It would be very fair to say. Actually, I think I should watch 2001 probably tonight. I very, very much like Kubrick movies. And there's a turntable that he uses. Very, very stylish turntable. It's called a transcriptor. This thing is like the Jaguar of turntables. Gorgeous, beautiful. It's supposed to be audiophile. Very expensive. I think it's an $8,000 turntable. Fussy as fuck. Fussy as fuck. Just a nightmare to deal with. I've never had one. But, I mean, it's a cool turntable. Be nice to have, right? You have the same turntable that appears in A Clockwork Orange. Yeah. It's prettier than... it's more pretty than it is functional. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to play you... I pulled a bunch of stuff from my weirdo soundtrack stuff, so that necessarily usually means we go right into Italian territory. I wind up mentioning a lot of the same names, I guess, but I know that I've mentioned Piero Umiliani before. Piero Umiliani is the dude who wrote The Muppet Show, Mana Mana. Although it was not The Muppet Show back then, Mana Mana was actually a song in a Swedish softcore porn movie from the late 60s called Svezia, Inferno e Paradiso, which is Sweden, Paradise and Inferno. Basically heaven and hell. All right, so yeah, that's where Mana Mana comes from, not Fuzzy Muppets. Believe it or not. What he did also, though, is, and a lot of Italian guys liked making weird music, and as much as when we hear about library music, it's usually, they focus on the UK because, the UK library scene is pretty big, but there was the same type of thing that was happening in Italy as well. Library music is basically a catalog of music that people would make, and it's kind of like how it is, you can't play copyrighted music, so that's what makes our show Pirate Radio, right? And there's a whole bunch of music out there. Everybody under the sun is making sounds that you can use, right? Just legal copyright. YouTube offers an entire library of the stuff. It's readily available. Well, back then it wasn't readily available. So what they would do is they would get recordings. They would get people to come in and record sounds. It's like, okay, this is what it's supposed to sound like in a horror movie. This is what it's supposed to sound like in a scary movie with the wind blowing and rain. And just, they'd go for a whole bunch of moods. And a lot of this music is insanely funky and just really wild. Okay, that same scene happened in Italy as well. And Umiliani was one of those guys that kind of used, first of all, he's an absolute legend of the electronic scene, and he is absolutely a pioneer. But he went even weirder than just what you would consider stuff that he played during his soundtrack period. He's known for his soundtracks. This is a record that he put out under the name Moggi, which is basically a record of space sounds. So it's just it's trippy electronic music that I think all of you will enjoy. Impossible to find these records, original copies, just, unless you want to play that whole game. I don't. So there's this label out of Italy called Dago Red, and they always press this stuff. It's the only way for me to find it. When I see it, I pick it up all the time. I should actually probably do a sweep of our own store, see how many Dago Reds we have. Those are some mighty fine records, man. So I'm going to play you some Moggi, all right? Moggi is Piero Umiliani's alter ego for just strictly electronic music. Hope you like it. Groovy, right? Just it's jazz. It's Italian jazz. Probably accurate. I love music from other cultures. It's crazy. That's kind of the reason it is that I make blind buys as much as I do, especially when I trust the labels, because that's where all the interesting stuff is. I like the weird shit. Not just stuff I find in the dollar bins, just I seek it out, man. Bring it in from Italy. I'm going to play you some more of that stuff, more Italian library music from Alessandro Alessandrone. He worked very often with Ennio Morricone, and he actually provided all of the singers that you hear on a lot of the Morricone westerns. So if you listen to a lot of early Morricone, those vocalizations, that's all Alessandrone who takes care of all of that. And he was married to Edda Dell'Orso, who's the main vocalist of Ennio Morricone, which I should probably play you some so that you remember who she is. She's the one, that voice on the opening track to Once Upon a Time in the West with, what's the name of that goddamn actor? Charles Bronson. Yeah, that's her voice. I should probably just play it, but I've played it before. Anyway, he is married to Edda Dell'Orso. They were a husband-wife musical team and worked a lot in cinematics. And here's stuff that's impossible to find. I mean, again, if you want to play the whole game, you can go ahead and play the whole Discogs game. I don't play that, right? So I don't live in Italy. This stuff was available only originally in Italy, and I'm really happy that these things exist, you know, that these types of reissues exist. I don't think that we're going to find this one, but if you do, again, highly suggested. If not, hey man, I got a bunch of this stuff. I'm always happy to play it for you. Hey, we haven't forgotten about the patrons. The patrons are going fine. There's 24 hours and every day we're getting all of it done. As a matter of fact, like I said, we welcome on board Org Music, that are our new corporate patrons. Everything is going absolutely beautiful. You guys are holding it down, and we will keep offering the discounts, and we will keep offering special gear through the Vinyl Junkies patron page. It's all coming. The minute it becomes clearer, there's so much to do. The good news for you guys is that the store is going to look different again next week, and we have some surprises in there for you. And I think that you'll like them. Me and Brian Schubert, actually, his real name. I mean, I make fun of him, Bruce Kulick and Brian Johnson and all of this. But we talk every Friday, and the next steps of what's coming for you guys is really cool. So we're on all of it, man. Promise. Here's some Alessandroni, man. groovy, right? Something that would definitely fit very well in the Sunday Mass area of our show. So maybe I should pull out some more of this Alessandroni to play on Sunday. I'm going to continue with soundtracks. I'm going to play a back-to-back Angelo Badalamenti because we have these soundtracks in shop, and, well, if you like this kind of thing, then they're classic. Angelo Badalamenti's long-time collaborator with David Lynch on a whole bunch of his projects. So you're going to recognize some of this if you're a fan of David Lynch. I noticed that we had a copy of Blue Velvet available, and that's a bit surprising because I didn't even know that that was available as reissue, but I would call that essential. Why don't we start there?
She wore blue velvet, bluer than velvet was the night, softer than satin was the light from the stars. She wore blue velvet, bluer than velvet were her eyes. Shadows fall so blue, as lonely as a blue star.
Lost, 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 hammer in the pines, timber time, USA.
Creepy enough for you? David Lynch, man, certainly knows how to set a mood, doesn't he? I wound up picking the wrong record, but they kind of all look the same. Twin Peaks. There's a Twin Peaks record that just came out actually on Death Waltz. I wonder if it's the same one. I know this one is what? Fire Walk With Me? And I think the other one is from the limited series. So it's not the same thing, but they look the same. Just came out. Lavish type package. And, well, the music is just swell. Mastered by Bernie Grundman. So it's the good stuff. Why don't we listen to some Twin Peaks? Angelo Menti. I just love my record collection, man. I love playing this stuff for you so much. What's really cool is that I don't usually listen to music on my headphones, and in this particular case I do, and of course it's a different experience. It's just fucking awesome. It's like I got it right there so close, and the Sennheiser HD650s are good headsets, right? They're good headphones, so I've had them for over a decade easily. I know what it sounds like. It's just pure joy, man. So we're going to see each other on Sunday. We're going to do Sunday Mass. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have some Lee Hazelwood stories. I will have probably finished reading the book by then. I picked up some jazz from the store myself. I mean, obviously I'm not going to get it by then, but there's going to be a whole lot to play. I'm pretty sure we're going to go through some McCoy Tyner, celebrate his life as he passed away today. So I think it's appropriate that we play something from McCoy Tyner, legendary piano player, was part of the McCoy Tyner, was part of the John Coltrane's quintets, was there for some of his most seminal recordings, and we're going to listen to the title track off his debut solo album, which was in a trio, McCoy Tyner Trio. We have him, of course, on the piano, Art Davis on the bass, and longtime partner and legendary drummer Elvin Jones on the drums. Okay, so we'll listen to the title track, which is an original McCoy Tyner composition off his very first solo album. Hope you enjoyed. See you on Sunday for Sunday Mass, man.